The school committee airs concerns about a planned beer brewing operation on West Main Street. Details on that story and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Tuesday, July 22nd, 2014. I'm Sarah Colvin. Barnstable Community Horace Mann Charter Public School has a new leader. Principal Kathleen Podesky was introduced to the school committee at Monday's meeting.
Chair, good evening. I'd like to begin by welcoming our new principal of the Barnstable Community Horace Mann Charter Public School, Ms. Kathleen Podesky. If she could come forward. Kathleen is a seasoned principal coming from another part of the state here, in the eastern part of the state, and we're really lucky to have her on board, and I'm scheduled to meet with her tomorrow morning, or Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock, and looking forward to working with you. So Kathleen, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm quite honored to be a part of this dynamic school system. My days of late, since July 1, have been quite busy, although small. BCHM CPS, I am getting quicker with it, is a really wonderful, warm environment. The teachers have a tremendous commitment to the children and to the school. It's been really exciting for me to jump on board since day one, working together with them. We're really excited about the playground. I was pleased to sort of walk the area that's being prepared for that with Dave Kenyak. And the garden at the community school is thriving. The children who are part of the rec department program go out and weed the garden on Fridays, so it's really generating a lot of community involvement. I'm really loving that. Everyone has been so helpful. People in the Human Resources Department have been amazingly helpful to me. The Tech Department did a training for all of the new administrators last week that was phenomenal. I just can't say enough about my first few weeks here. I'm really loving it, enjoying it, and look forward to working with all of you and moving the Barnstable Community Horace Mann Charter Public School forward and contributing to the Barnstable Public Schools. So thank you very much for having me here tonight, and I'm really quite honored to be a part of your team.
New food service manager Dave Badeau also took to the podium.
Well, I got appointed head lunch lady back in March. It's been a lot of fun. I agree. The community is fantastic. Everybody's been great. From the town hall right down to the school. So the principals have been wonderful. The staff's been wonderful. Facilities, got to say, it's been a great time. Really enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. And the students, wonderful students. Yeah. So I've been come from a little bit of a different background. I came from the hospitality field. I guess food is food and people are people. So I fit in pretty well. Jumped in with 2 feet. As you know, this position stayed open for a little while, so there was a lot of, I walked into my desk, I had 3 desks in there, and the papers were up about this high, so I had to sift through everything for a few months. I'm still kind of sifting, but I'm catching up. Been involved with a lot of cool stuff. As everybody knows, we have the smoothies over in United. They've gone over very, very well. I think the students have really enjoyed seeing those go into the school.
Badeau is working on receiving approval for funding for a program that would provide free lunches to all Hyannis West students. Well, the proposal of a brewery in the former Cape Cod Commercial Linen Service building on West Main Street is facing criticism from the school committee. Committee members felt as though they were not notified of the plans in a timely manner. Master brewer Peter Connor and his wife Ann addressed the committee on Monday.
There was a little bit of confusion as to whether or not we were forthcoming and whether or not you had information. And I just wanted to tell you from our perspective, through the process that Mr. Butler has explained that we've gone through, There was two registered letters that went out both to the superintendent of schools as well as the abutters list that was actually sent out by the town hall. So we were under the assumption that you folks were aware of what we were doing, and when you weren't present in the zoning board open forum, we just assumed that there were no issues. So we respect the fact that you have your issues. We'd welcome to answer any questions, but I wanted to make it clear that we were trying to be very forthcoming with what we were trying to do.
Connor described the plans, stating that Barnstable Brewing is designed to be more of a retail store than a bar.
What was explained in the open forums with the ZBA special permit process, we are proposing to open up an artisanal craft brewery in the facility. We believe that that facility is a good one for that use, especially since its prior use was used as a commercial laundry factory facility. So we believe that we're less intrusive to our neighbors and the business in that commercial space. In particular to the use and the reason that we're applying for the pouring permit, which is specifically what we're here to talk about, that is required by law if we want to engage in any kind of open alcohol in the facility. So, for example, we're not calling it a tap room, we're calling it a tasting room. So if someone wants to come and sample, we need that permit in order for them to try the beverages. My wife and I were very clear that it's not going to be a bar or a tavern, that these are going to be 2-ounce samples. Liken it to kind of a winery where you go and taste wine. This is not going to be a place where you sit down and spend the afternoon watching the Patriots game. We feel that that's already being served across the street at the pizza store that's just as close as we are, where they do have an open pouring license, where you can get a full serving of alcohol. That is not what we're intending to do.
Superintendent of Schools Dr. Mary Chkowski raised concerns about the brewery's location next to Hyannis West Elementary School and its impact on the young students.
If I could I ask you what that perception is that would be detrimental to them as a K through or preschool through third grade?
In this society now, we're talking about breweries, alcohol, medical marijuana facilities, all sorts of, and it is about education, and we try to educate because I think that's important. That's an important component of this. But when I think of the school and the location of the school and having a brewery, and I don't know, I don't know a lot about brewing beer, and I don't know about the odors of what's going to come, but I think it's a perception. It's hard enough to educate communities and families and students around alcohol, alcoholism, the disease, drinking, driving, all those sorts of things. And I think this becomes, it's a perception. And I don't know how else to say that, but it's a perception.
The school committee voted 3-2 in favor of a motion to oppose the plans, and as school attorney Bill Butler explained, that will now go to the licensing authority.
The timetable will be fairly quick in terms of how litigation normally goes, because the zoning appeal statute requires that zoning appeals be heard quickly. Right. So I would say within the next 6 months probably.
Okay. And for the issue that's before us right now?
I've given you two motions. Alternative one is a motion to oppose the application for the pouring license, and alternative number two is a motion not to oppose.
And if we voted not to oppose, we're done. That's the end of it. If we vote to oppose, we will be heard. Is a vote to oppose necessary to be heard? I guess
the motion to oppose includes a direction to me to notify the licensing authority of the school committee's opposition.
Okay.
Barnstable Brewing has received a special permit for use of the building, but still must face approval from the licensing authority. An appeal of the ZBA decision is also currently pending. Well, be sure to tune in to our daily hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning. We're on the air on Channel 18 each and every weekday morning, starting at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we'll welcome Wendy Northcross of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Cape and Island State Senator Dan Wolf, and Director of Finance Mark Milne. Join us tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.